Yeah, we're the Stanford men's distance team. We came out here for like 2.5 months to like just kind of train, do school, and like kind of get together when we felt like super separated the past couple months. And so we've kind of just been staying in this little bubble, trying to stay as safe as possible, and just getting it done. Now that we're at the end of the quarter, we're gonna go home to our families and then hopefully get back on campus January 3rd.
Dude, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. He's a vlogger.
Vloggers collide.
This race is so high that there's
the Mexican
stand
up.
Oh my goodness. Thomas and Charles, these guys are absolutely legit runners. Charles, what do you run the mile in?
I think my PR is 407.
407, and you're even faster now than that. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Charles is running faster than 407.
Yeah, Charles is beast mode. And Thomas is also really insane. He ran the mile with me a couple months ago. What'd you run in that, Thomas? Like 403 or something like that?
404.
Yeah, that's legit. Thomas is insane. And we are gonna do a Stanford v BYU, which is in reality me versus Thomas and Charles. And yeah, we're gonna do a 100-meter sprint, see how it goes. And I suck at sprinting, so this should be interesting. There's lots of guys in the team that are better than me, and I don't know. I feel like Charles is gonna be really good, though. Do we get a head start? I feel like me and Thomas should get a head start.
No, it's cap.
It always seems fair. Just finish line, and then
We got the finish line, Cam. All right, our athletes are now heading down to the start. We'll be finishing at this pole right there. Ready, set, go. Let's go! Hey, yo, never catch me racing the 100-meter dash again.
you can't even see your face, bro. You gotta look in the screen. Oh yeah. How's it feel taking the L over here, huh?
Pretty bad.
UT out here.
Does that hurt?
Thomas Boyan, how'd you feel?
I
Getting the interview.
felt pretty bad.
Why are you holding another microphone?
I'm taking the mic. I felt pretty gassed.
All right.
Time trial last week, still haven't fully recovered. Blame it on that.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for Charles, so I kind of let him win.
I appreciate that.
Charles.
Can I have it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 9.5 is a good result. I wish we had a couple more officials because there's a couple of my fellow racers were a little bit sus. But you know, overall, it's just about getting the effort in. I'm just ready to go back and call my scouts and let them know, you know, it's time to go pro.
Me and Thomas got to starting line, and we did some thinking and realized that Charles is a better sprinter than both of us.
Yeah.
So we decided to go on set instead of go.
And we still lost.
No, I won. I won. Yeah, I won.
I didn't see.
All I gotta say is I did cheat, which I feel kind of bad about, but also I'm really just happy to take the dub today. That's the biggest win I've had in a while. So, I mean, that quite frankly, that was one of the biggest races of the season, considering
There's been none.
very few races this season. All right, now we're gonna do some interviews with these boys. So stay tuned.
All right, perfect.
First of all, being at Stanford, how is it? Like, what's like the vibe like being on the Stanford cross country team, being an athlete academically?
I've had about a quarter and a half on campus, and then it's about half my time's been Zoom, half my time's been campus. And when it was on campus, it was like the most insane experience ever. Like literally everyone you meet is just like someone absolutely insane. They talk about imposter syndrome a lot, and it's like totally a real thing just because you meet so many cool people. It's like, how can I be here?
One thing I learned from talking to these guys, and like I thought pretty hard about going to Stanford as well, it's like one thing that's really interesting is that they talk a lot about how like once you get into Stanford, like they really take care of you, and like the schoolwork is not that difficult. It is really high level education, but not maybe in terms of difficulty. Is that accurate?
Yeah, you can make it like however difficult.
Okay, now Charles. Obviously, you have to be a pretty insane runner to be running at Stanford. Like, what are your biggest tips for high school runners or even college runners that like just like want to be better? Like, what's been big for you, both of you?
I can say for high school, obviously, definitely do, like, you gotta stay consistent, but also like don't overdo it. Especially if like you're super talented, you don't want to go into at least in my opinion, I wouldn't want to go into college like severely overtrained. But I also would want to make the most out of my high school career. So I would say you just gotta like find a balance, especially like mileage. Mileage is honestly like, in my opinion, probably the most important aspect of training, just because like we're on a distance sport and it's so aerobic. So theoretically, the more you can run without getting hurt, the fitter you'll get.
For me, it's like totally just a question of consistency. Like a lot of it ties into what Thomas just said. But it's basically just about making sure you're doing the sport for the right reasons. Like, cause you're so young at this point, like your whole life's ahead of you. And like a lot of us like have to make this choice at a certain point, whether or not you're doing the sport just because you're progressing or you're doing well, or whether or not it's something you really love. And I found by just like watching a lot of people run, like talking to my teammates, both in high school and in college, like when it's something that you really love, it's so much easier to do everything for it that makes you an elite runner. So staying consistent and just always staying aware of like why you're doing the sport, like surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you do better rather than people who might, you know, detract from what you can possibly do.
It's so much easier to run in groups and like train with people who have the same motives as you. It just makes the sport so much easier. And having that will, if you can do that, will make you a faster runner.
Definitely sprinkle some stretching onto there because I did not stretch enough in high school and that was a huge mistake. And just have fun with it. Yeah. I don't think there's anyone who got to our level that didn't just start by having fun with it. Like eventually you can get more serious, but I don't think like, especially for people who are like freshman, sophomore year, like just enjoy it. And then eventually you'll get to that point where you start, you know, knuckling down, but it's got to start from a place of passion.
Okay, then what about like best life advice too? Because there's like a lot of people that watch the channel that aren't actually running.
From my perspective, like what worked well for me was like kind of around like high school, just figuring out like what you want to accomplish and what are your priorities, whether that's like going to a certain college or like running a certain time and running, and just don't put like all your eggs in that basket, but like sort of direct a majority of your energy towards that goal, because in my opinion it's better to focus on like a more singular quality type of thing than like be not as good at like a lot of things or pursue a lot of different things, because I don't think we as humans are able to perform at like a high performance level for like a lot of different things. So I think it's better to kind of like at some point specialize, and like for us, obviously all three of us, it's like running, and that goes for anything that you find yourself good at or passionate for, and eventually that'll take you down a line where you'll feel happy if it is something you really do like.
That's a good answer. There's like different ways to model this, but one of my favorite approaches is like I kind of consider it like a question of like pillars and columns in your life. They both.
All right, so I was gonna put Charles' advice in there, but it was just so bad I had to crop it out. But anyways, it was a good time running with the Stanford boys.
For sure.
They are headed back to California tonight.
I'm headed 20 minutes
back
to Salt
home
Lake.
at least. And then but anyways, they've been in Park City all semester, so was it a good trip?
Yeah, totally.
I trip.
Super
Solid.
fun.
And I'll be racing these guys come fall and spring, so you'll see BYU and then right behind the little red. No, I'm just kidding. These guys are amazing, so it's gonna be really fun to race them. But anyways, thanks for watching the vlog, guys. Go check out Charles' channel. It's great. He makes videos really similar to mine, so you'll like them. Okay, here's the question that me and my friends were debating the other day.
Okay.
Kind of controversial. I'm interested to hear what you guys are gonna say. You're dating a girl, you like have been out with her like 4 different times.
Okay.
And like you're pretty sure you like her. And then you find out she's your third cousin.
Third cousin?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know enough about like.
Okay,
it's your.
At BYU, is this a real problem?
Yeah, BYU's cousin.
No, it's not. But it's just
dealing
an
with
interesting
second and
debate.
first row.
Oh, it's first cousin.
Okay, so third cousin is your great grandma. You share the same great grandma.
That's so far away, but at the same
It
time,
also
like,
depends. Like,
because
if you have,
the thing is,
Like
like,
you have a lot of third cousins.
but you have like
especially in Utah.
I feel like if you have
Especially
the
in Utah,
choice,
people
if you have the choice not to,
But
like,
what if,
why
like-
would you?
But like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
I
when you
put
find a
Charles.
girl that you're into, it's like you're not gonna like.
I'm saying no.
But imagine,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying
saying no.
no, I'm saying
I
no.
would straight up be thinking about that like
That
for
would
the
be
rest
weird.
of my life.
Like I'd have to like break things up.
Well, it's just like, why would you choose that when you have so many first cousins available? Please don't put that in.
No.
Sweet.
Bro, no, you gotta leave
I'll
that
just block
That's
it
so
for
funny.
the channel.
in. You gotta leave that in. That's
Our
actually
mom's
so funny.
gonna watch this. She watches everything, bro.
Oh my god.
No, but
Sorry to Charles' mom. Shit to hear that.
Joke disclaimer. This is Charles's official.
I thought you were gonna-
we're taking
I
an
thought-
ad break. That was a joke. Mom, I'm sorry.
Here's where we put a twist in the argument, and maybe it'll change your minds. So we did some research because you know, like, you genetically can't marry your first cousin because like your kids would just be messed up. But it turns out that your third and fourth cousins are your ideal gene pool.
Why?
Like I don't know why, but like that's like what the internet says.
Like,
no, that'd be
I don't
tough.
know.
It doesn't change my mind.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
my-
still
I'll
don't
take my-
think they would.